It's 1370's Friday Night Fanstand.
All right, howdy, Austin, and welcome to the Friday Night Fanstand Tailgate Party. It's sponsored by Radiant Plumbing. Coach Derek Long, myself, Jonathan Daniel. Regular season's over, postseason upon us.
Well, it's the most exciting time of the year with the playoffs. And the hard thing about it is when you lose, it's over, and nobody thinks they're going to lose that game. It is tough, but it is a lot of fun, and I'm glad this time is here.
All right, in the words of the immortal Jim Mora, playoffs. Let's look at our final Big Ten Fanstand Big Ten of the season because all teams can't play anymore. That's what makes the playoffs special. Let's take a look at our final top 10 teams. Friday Night Fanstand Big Ten. 10 through 6, Coach. McCallum, Westlake, which fell to Bowie, which jumps up to 8. Leander 7, Anderson 6. Your thoughts on our bottom 5 of the Fanstand Big Ten?
Well, they're all outstanding teams. All these 5 teams are going to the playoffs. McCallum had a little rough start. Their defense had to replace them. I think all their starters, and they finally have got them where they've come around. I think that they may surprise somebody in the playoffs. Bowie and Westlake just got through playing last week. Westlake finished the regular season with a loss. Pretty unusual, but sometimes that's a wake-up call. And that loss came to the hands of a Bowie team that was outstanding. Leander, after their 0-4 start, Coach Gideon and his staff and the players, they got things together. I think they are on a roll. I expect to see them playing for quite a while. And finally, Anderson. I mean, what can you say? A 9-1 season.
Yeah.
Part of a tri-district championship. Coach Ryland, those guys have done an outstanding job also.
We'll have Coach Steve Gideon of Leander as well as Coach Darren Allman for Westlake on the Friday Night Fanstand. Special start time this week. It'll be 9 to 11. Make sure that you tune in and get all your first-round playoff action from across Central Texas. Fanstand Big Ten is brought to you by Radiant Plumbing. Let's look at our top 5 teams to end the 2010 regular season, Coach. Number 5, we have the Connolly Cougars, district champions. Number 4, Lake Travis, which lost a tough game to our top team. Number 3, Hutto, probably 2010's biggest surprise. Number 2, Stony Point, unbeaten season. Looks like they're peaking. And Cedar Park, you can't say enough about the Timberwolves.
Well, all these teams, again, are, Conley has probably one of the biggest turnarounds of anybody. Conley and Hutto, both of them, I believe, were about 2-8 last year. So those are 2 teams, those programs have improved tremendously. Lake Travis, a little surprise last week. I had a great man once tell me that if a loss helps you win a state championship, it's not a bad thing. So maybe Cedar Park gave Lake Travis that wake-up call that they need to be focused going into the playoffs. Cedar Park at number 1, Stony Point at number 2, both of them undefeated. 2 outstanding football teams, and I think both of them have a chance to win state championships in their divisions.
A quick aside, if you were to pick number 1 and number 2, Cedar Park versus Stony Point, who do you think comes out on top?
I would really probably lean to Stony Point because of the athleticism. When you're talking with Coach Allman, he brought out that the Stony Point offensive line was one of the best that he's seen. And that's a pretty well-kept secret. You haven't heard much about that during the year, but if that is true and they can pick up stunts and they block as well as he said, they are going to be extremely tough here in the playoffs.
Okay, let's go ahead and look at the playoffs, Coach, coming up. Actually, starting on Thursday. Let's look at the 2 divisions that pit Austin area teams against each other first. Let's start with 25-4A, 26-4A. Cedar Park versus LBJ. Timberwolves undefeated going against an LBJ team that lost to McCallum and lost Dante Price for the season. Can they make things happen at Gupton versus Cedar Park? Also, Lake Travis versus McCallum. That's also Thursday. Marble Falls Crockett Thursday. Vista Ridge Travis Friday.
Well, the Cedar Park Lake Travis district definitely has the edge and probably would be favored in most of these games. It's tough for the AISD schools, but I think I won't name the school, but I think there might be a surprise in here. I'm saying that 26-4A will win at least one of these games.
Okay. All right, we'll hold you to that. We'll check back in on Friday. That's a bold statement. Friday Night Fanstand Tailgate, sponsored by Radiant Plumbing. Let's look at 15-5A through 16-5A. We call it South versus North Austin. Georgetown, Bowie. All these games are on Friday, Coach. Is there a reason? Georgetown, Bowie at Berger. Westlake, Stony Point at Kelly Reeves. Anderson, Westwood at House Park. And at Bible Stadium, Austin High versus Leander.
Well, these are all games that I think that can go either way. I won't pick one in these, and I think a lot of these teams are real evenly matched, and they're all going to be outstanding football games. You know, it'd be nice if they could just stagger them at 10:30, noon, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That way we could go see all those games.
Yeah, like the NCAA tournament.
I mean, really.
That's an ingenuitive idea. Maybe you should be up in the. Maybe he would come out of retirement. That's just a note for the Boston Independent School District. Let's quickly look at the other playoff matchups before we get into any trouble. 15-4A versus 16-4A. Connerly, Lancaster. That's on a Saturday. We actually have Coach McMahon on the show later. Henderson versus West Mesquite. That's tonight. Hutto and Mesquite Petite. That's a Saturday 2 p.m. game. And Bastrop versus where I used to go to college at Navarro Junior College, Corsicana. Thursday night game at Waco Midway. Your thoughts on those matchups?
I'm not real familiar with 16-4A district. Lancaster does have a history of being successful here over the last 10-year period, so they do have some statewide recognition. Basically, I feel like that 15-4A with Conley, Hendrickson, Hutto, and Bastrop very strong, and I feel like that they should do very well with these matchups in the first round.
All right, lastly, Coach, 25-3A versus 26-3A. Hello to Chuck Licata, who'll be calling this game. Liberty Hill versus Geronimo Navarro. That's Friday at Manor ISD. Also, Burnett versus Canyon Lake. Burnett narrowly missing out on the district championship by losing to Liberty Hill last week. And Wimberley, one of the surprises of the season, Coach Nelm says the Texans hitting on all cylinders. They play Llano, Round Rock Stadium, Friday.
I'm just have to show favoritism. I like Burnett, Liberty Hill, and Wimberley. You know, we've followed these teams as they've gone through the year. Been real impressed with them. You know, Burnett has some injuries. All three of these teams have been outstanding, and I feel like that they're going to be playing football for a while.
Yeah, folks, the new and improved FridayNightFanStand.com is now available, up and running. You got to check it out. In case you missed the playoff matchups here, you can always refer back to there at any point in time while you're at home. Also, we'll have updates on those scores on Friday night. It starts a little late. We have the Aggies balling. They're opening up the season, Coach. But
basketball? It's not basketball season yet.
No, not yet. But
we got 6 more weeks of football. What is this?
We're going to try to fit it in, Coach. Trust me. 9 to 11, we'll get you your first
9 to 11.
week 1 action. And then week 2, we're still working out the kinks, but we'll definitely have you covered. FridayNightFanStand.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at FridayFanStand. And, of course, Facebook. Hundreds of fans. Friday Night Fan Stand is the key word. Coach, it'll be an exciting Friday, and I'm looking forward to some Thursday action as well.
I am, too, and encourage everybody to go out and support your favorite team. Go out and watch some good football. And then Friday night, listen in, and we'll get you the scores of the games that you're not able to hear.